Welcome back, my friend. Today we are diving into a topic that's usually reserved for high school drama. Wait, better yet, elementary school drama. Um, but somehow, as adults, it follows us into our workplace. We see it in our circle with friends, acquaintances, and even family members. This is called adult bullying. Basically, it's when someone never outgrew being a total jerk. It's that one person who uses professionalism or brutal honesty as a mask just to be a relentless asshole. It's high school drama, just with higher stakes.
Someone harms you and then attacks you for how you respond to their harm. That is another common adult bullying tactic called DARVO. I bet you have experienced this at work. White collar bullying is very subtle. It's different than what we think of as bullying, which is part of why people just roll their eyes and say, get over it. It's just like that's something childish. White collar bullying is subtle. It often revolves around trying to ostracize somebody. I talked about that in part 1 of how adults bully. But it's also in regulating how you can respond to everything. It allows people to mistreat you and then police you when you call it out. Oh, wow, you're too emotional, you're too aggressive, you're too rude, you have no emotional regulation. This is called DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It's a form of gaslighting and manipulation.
How to respond to disrespect. Number 1, give it about 10 seconds of nothing. Don't say a word. Make them sit all by themselves with what they just said. And in those 10 seconds, they're going to be thinking to themselves, wait, why isn't it working? Wait, this is not how I thought it would go. Because by you not giving them what they want, they're going to look exposed. They're going to feel vulnerable, awkward, alone. And you're going to look in control. Number 2, turn commands into questions. They're much more powerful. For example, instead of, you can't speak to me that way, it's, when did I give you the impression it's okay to say that to me? Instead of, you can't disrespect me, it's, do you treat everybody this way? Or are you just asking me to tolerate it? And number 3, my personal favorite, once their words settle down, say, that's below my standard for response. It's saying, what you just said is beneath me, and I will pay it no mind. And that's what to say to handle disrespect. So try that and follow me.
You're dealing with somebody belittling you or being rude or condescending. When they do that, what I want you to do is to ask them a question. And it's a question that they're not going to be used to. And it is, you're asking them to say it again. Whenever you ask them to repeat it, it's something they were not, number 1, they weren't expecting it. Number 2, they're not going to want to do it because the first effect is gone. You've already blown out the candle. They don't want to have to relight it. It's this idea of, I already said the bad thing. Oh no, I didn't get the reaction what I want. I didn't get that hit of dopamine. I didn't get that self-gratification. Instead, if you were to say something ugly as a bully or somebody who's being ugly in the workplace, and I say, can you say that again? I didn't catch all of that. Can you repeat that for me? It is not nearly as fun for them the second go around. And whenever that happens, if they have the guts, which they probably won't, but if they have the guts to repeat it, then you ask a question of intent. Like, did you say that to embarrass me? Did you say that to offend me? Did you say that to make me upset? Did you want that to hurt me? You can begin with, did you? Or how did you expect me to respond to that? Mm-hmm. How did you feel when you said that to me? These are things that, again, just like we talked about, you're not catching it and throwing it back. It hasn't even reached your doorstep yet. Because all you've done is just taken that spotlight that was on you and just go, look, put it right back on them. Because it's a mirror. That's all you're doing whenever you do that.
And these tips of asking them to repeat it and inquiring as to their intent, these need practice. To visualize yourself and to do this multiple times, practice seeing yourself, asking them immediately, please, can you just repeat what you said? What is your intent behind making this comment to me? We need to play it in our minds first because we're not going to remember how to come back to an individual who has just insulted and attacked us. So be prepared, play it through, because it feels even worse when you walk away and you're like, I should have said that. I should have said that. Why didn't I think about that? So practice your responses. That's all. Let's carry on.
You can always tell when somebody starts to resent or hate you within a dynamic because the reaction to your actions will not match your initial action. And what I mean by this is, have you ever had a scenario where you performed an action and it was something minuscule or minor misunderstanding, but that person took that moment to tell you about yourself and they took it to a complete extreme and almost left you dumbfounded because you were like, how did we get here? Why are you making this big of a deal of something so small when it's only happened once? But no. That's what you think it is. You think it's only happened once. But this is a result of them bottling up emotions and them overflowing where they have to communicate because they cannot operate anymore with keeping things behind closed doors. And I want you to understand that this person is actively punishing you for every single thing that they let slide. And instead of seeking you out for context, they chose to take your actions out of context. You are getting punished for things that you never did out of poor faith or maliciously. But they don't have the emotional regulation to be able to speak up on things in the moment. So they allow things to boil over. I hate to say it, but you're nobody's punching bag. When somebody shows you these traits, I want you to get up and walk away because they will never be able to unlearn you as the villain in their life.
You need to put 2 words in every email to HR when you report a bully or harassment at work. You've got to tell them that the harassment is severe and pervasive. Legally, severe means that the conduct is so outrageous it has no place in civil society. Pervasive means it's happening over and over and over again. For someone bullying you to actually be a hostile work environment, which is what's illegal. The bullying isn't illegal, the hostile work environment's illegal. It has to be severe or pervasive or some combination of both. So when you email that complaint to HR, include those words.
So let me explain one more time. In order to have legal means, a legal avenue, in order to litigate an employer or as an excuse to leave and subsequently be eligible for unemployment, you need to prove that it was a hostile environment. And again, you need to use those 2 words, and you also have to have examples to back it up. So severe and pervasive, those need to be included. And quitting a job because of a hostile environment is your right, your legal right, and it opens up an avenue for litigation relative to that hostile environment.
Morning, gang. This is part 3 in my series on adult bullying. So today we're going to be talking about adult bullies and why they do what they do. Here we go for the lesson today, which would be adult bullies and the 2 main reasons why adults might actually become a bully. So the first reason why somebody might be an adult bully, an asshole, is because they have severe insecurity. Okay? All of us have insecurities. Insecurities are not something to be, concerned about. We all have them. It can be over your height, your weight, your looks, your finances. For guys, we're really constantly worried about things like, our perceived sexual prowess with women or our sexuality in general. But, everybody has some sort of a thing that they lack confidence in or could really just be flat out insecure about. Most people who are having insecurity, they will do their best to try and avoid having any attention drawn to that. But typically, they just make it a point to make sure that they don't draw any attention to their insecurities. Bullies, on the other hand, take a different tactic. They actively work to divert your attention away from them. That is why they attack other people, because if they attack other people, the focus is the other direction, at the other person, the victim in this particular case. And even the victim's focus is not on the bully because they're spending their time defending themselves against these attacks. But the end result for the bully is that nobody's paying attention to these severe insecurities that they have. So they give others this false sense of security, this sense that they're confident and strong around others that they're actually really insecure around. That's why they do that. Confident people don't need to tell you that they're confident. Just like funny people don't need to tell you that they're funny. And people who are self-confident do not feel the need to attack others, because tearing down others is only done to try and establish dominance over others. Something that a self-confident person just flat out doesn't need. So the second reason that people as adults tend to become bullies is power for the powerless. Namely, the bullies. But we'll talk about that tomorrow because I don't want to drag out all your time. Join me again tomorrow. I will tell you all about that. And in the meantime, please take care of each other. Please try and be good humans. It's the only thing that I can ask you. Have a good day.
How do you respond to disrespect?
A lot of silence. So often, if you just wait 10 seconds, you're going to add distance between what they said and how you're going to respond. They're saying this to get something out of you, because in that moment they're feeling something, whether it's a fear, an insecurity, whatever it is. You're not going to deliver on that same plane that they are. So if somebody says something disrespectful, you give enough silence to make sure that it's a little awkward. And then you're going to say something to the effect of, that's below my standard for a response. All of a sudden you're now making it clear that what you just said was beneath me, and I don't respond to things that are beneath me in that way.
Okay, you, my favorite friend, you. I am going to challenge you to do 5 seconds of pausing. So imagine someone comes up to you and attacks you, that adult bully, and says something to the extent of, "What the hell is wrong with you? You can't get anything right," or whatever the attack is. I need you to contain your power for only 5 seconds. You can do this and breathe, but count in your mind 5 seconds. And by doing so, that will create a space of fracture in the attack. And whatever you reply with after those few seconds, try not to feel it, but I like the idea of asking a question. Why did you feel the need to say that to me? How do you want me to respond to you? That usually also fractures the attack. So I challenge you to do 5 seconds at the next opportunity that you can when an adult bully comes roaring through the room and in your face. All right.
There is nothing more dangerous than a fake nice person at work. And here's how you're going to sniff their silicone ass out. Okay, fake. First of all, they only compliment you in front of other people. They want other people to know that they're such a nice person and they recognize you. Girl, shut up. They also only criticize you in public or behind your back. Interesting, because a real one would come to me directly and offer feedback. They're the first to talk shit about other people when they're not in the room. And if they talk shit with you, babe, they're talking shit about you. That is a fake nice person. Fake nice person isn't going to be fake nice to someone they perceive to be beneath them, but they are going to be a big fat ass kisser for all the executives. So pay attention to who they butter up to. If they're nice to all the executives and to you, it's because they think they can get something out of you. Be very, very cautious.
It's like, go on, just don't be nice to me. We don't need your nice. Ooh. Do y'all know one of those? Let me know.
Bullying isn't random. It actually does have a why, and it's a reflection of much deeper issues that are going on with the bully. So here are the 7 most common reasons that people do it. Number 1, emotional trauma. We've all heard it before. Hurt people hurt people. They're projecting their pain. Number 2, insecurity. You see, bullying, it boosts their social status and shields them from criticism. Number 3, because they were bullied, and striking first avoids them from being bullied again. Number 4, learned behavior. They saw others do it, most likely mom and dad, and they learned that it was normal. Number 5, poor social skills. They don't know how to handle conflict without causing pain to other people. Number 6, because they can do it anonymously. Doing it online, no one can see you, so it feels safer. And number 7, a lack of empathy. They simply do not care about how other people feel. Here's the hard truth. None of these reasons excuse it, but they do explain it, even if I have a hard time wrapping my own head around it. When someone is using bullying to manage the feelings that they can't face, it's not about you. It's about them. So if you've been targeted or you've watched someone else suffer, you're not overreacting, you're not imagining it. But here's the thing, silence is not going to solve it. So let's make an echo that exposes the why, so we don't let this keep happening.
Okay, where are my soldiers at? This is it. No more of absorbing that dark energy by bullies, adult bullies. Okay? We got this? Do you understand the assignment? All right, let's go.
In case your mom never told you this, I'm going to teach you. Next time someone says something rude or disrespectful or just completely out of line, don't jump into defending yourself. Don't do the whole, I don't like when you talk to me like that. You made me feel. That puts you on the emotional side and gives them all the power. Instead, try this. Ask a question. Chris, what made you think you could speak to me that way? Or Chris, how did you think that comment would land? Or Chris, when did I give you the impression that talking to me like that was okay? Chris, what made you believe that that was appropriate? Questions shift the energy fast. You stay calm, you stay confident, you stay in control. And the weight goes back on them, not you. Answer conflict with questions, not emotions. It keeps you grounded, it protects your power, and it makes the other person rethink everything. This is how you hold your boundaries without losing your cool.
Okay, once again, my anti-bullying soldiers, drop a comment below. What are some of the questions, if you already asked them, when you're attacked by a bully? What are some of the responses, the questions? I'm getting the theme here that we respond with a pause and then with a question. So let me know if this is helping you any, and if you intend to use any of these tips here. Okay.
Not all bullying is loud. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it whispers behind your back. And sometimes it looks like exclusion, like being left out of a group chat that you used to be in. Or finding out that people are talking about you, but just not to you. Welcome to the world of covert bullying. It's quiet, calculated, and just as damaging as any other type of bullying. In kids, it looks like gossip, rumors, or suddenly being iced out at lunch. In teens, it's social media posts that leave you out on purpose or are covertly targeting you on purpose. And by adulthood, it's happening in boardrooms and break rooms where they come after your contributions. They steal the credit for your ideas and they attack your reputation in the break room and chip away at it little by little until they feel like they have completely stolen your identity from you. And here's the thing, because it's subtle, so many people miss it. Teachers overlook it, managers miss it, and bystanders, they just stay silent. And the person being bullied, well, they're left wondering if it's all in their head, but it's not. Covert bullying is real, and the psychological toll that it has is heavy, if not heavier than other types of bullying. So let's make an echo loud enough that exposes the silent tactics, because just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
we just talk about how weird adult bullying is? And I don't mean getting pushed on the playground and called a poopy head. No, adult bullying is much more calculated. It's much more intentional. Adult bullying comes in the form of friendships and gaslighting. It usually starts out fairly innocent. The person befriends someone and then gets close to them, learns their secrets, and then that's when things start to get weird. It starts with small jabs of maybe talking about the person's size or how they dress or what they do with their makeup, but it's just making small little jabs at them to kind of tear them down notch by notch. Then typically the bully will then recruit other people while they're befriending their target to dislike the target. People that don't even know the target. They will go to their friends and family and they will tell them things about the target to make them dislike the target. It is so weird to me.
So we know that bullying is group behavior, and we know that everyone plays a role. But what are those roles? I'm going to tell you. We have the ringleader, the one who's pulling all the strings. They don't always throw punches, but they're definitely the ones starting the show. They're the ones that light the match. Then we have the target. This is the person who's actually being bullied. The person who's actually carrying the entire emotional and psychological impact of what's being done to them while nobody steps in. Then we have the assistant. This is the bully's sidekick, the one who doesn't have a brain and can't think for themselves. They actively step in, if not volunteer with excitement, to help the bully. Then we have the reinforcer. Maybe they don't touch you, but they laugh, they clap, and they egg it on. Without them, the bullying, it doesn't have an audience, so it doesn't exist. Then we have the outsider, or the bystander, whichever you prefer. They're the ones who stay silent while witnessing everything going on. But we already know silence isn't neutral. Silence protects the bully and hurts you. And then we have the defender, the one who is brave enough, the one with the courage, the only one with courage, who speaks up and stands with the target. They change the outcome. Here's the truth. Bullying does not happen in a vacuum. It happens because of group dynamics and the role that you choose, whether that's to laugh, stay silent, or speak up, that can change everything. So let's make an echo that says when it comes to bullying, your role matters.
You, my friend, I hope you are a defender in the dynamics of adult bullying. Protect your space, protect your integrity, protect yourself at all costs. There is an avenue through obtaining a harassment restraining order. All you need to do is show repeated events that are harassing in nature. Ignore the bullies online. I'm still trying to work on that part. But until we meet again, my friend, you have a wonderful day, and I truly appreciate you spending this time with me today. Okay, you take care.